Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Firstly, I want to apologize for the lack of uploads. I know I said I was going to be doing more content this year, but whoopie-doo, I lied. Because there's this little thing called motivation sucks. You know, it can either be very helpful, or it can go very poorly against you. Oh well. But, okay, but that's not what I want to talk about here today. So, I wanted to make this video for a little while. And after what has happened with SM2 and how Activision took that project down, this really fired me up to make this video. And it's a video, judging on the title, talking about how bad Modern Warfare 2 freaking sucks. Even months and months after the launch, the game has gotten barely any better. It's gotten worse in some aspects, I would say. And if you're, you know what, if you're wondering why there has been such a lack of uploads, that has part to do with it. Because if there's no reason for me to get on the game when the game really sucks, why should I make content for it? You know what I'm saying? It's just, this game has been so poorly handled. And the thing is, I would love to play the game, but Infinity Ward doesn't, like, want you to play their game from the looks of it, you know? It's just, they have such a weird vision for this game, and it's not working very well. Because, actually, you know, hold on, before I get into whatever next I was going to say, can I just say, I really just am surprised how the game is still making money off microtransactions. I just want to say that really quickly. I mean, I'll get into that more later, but, like, even despite how poorly this game's doing in terms of player numbers, I'm still surprised they're still raking in thousands of dollars each day, probably even more. But, yeah. Also, I'd just like to apologize for if you hear any background noise, because that's either my fan or my console, because PlayStation 4s are airports, as we all know, but yeah. So, I want to get into the first thing, like the first kind of point I want to touch up on this video on why I think this game is such a complete failure. And it's just for the fact, and this is probably the #1 reason, and it's that Infinity Ward does not care about your feedback. They just don't care. They do not care what you have to say. They don't care what kind of changes you want to see made to the game. They just want to do everything their own way. And while they say, oh no, your feedback is very appreciated, it's not. There's very minimal changes they'll ever make to any of the feedback they get, and they don't want to listen to you. And when you have a game as big, especially at the beginning of the launch, when you have a game as big as Modern Warfare 2, like, the feedback and the community support is one of the top priorities on your list to keep the game running and alive. And Infinity Ward, especially nowadays, Infinity Ward is not the kind to be transparent and open to their player base. And that's just something that really ticks me off, you know. Because if you want a game to be successful, you need to be transparent and open with your community. And when you don't have that, you have a lot of people being very concerned about the development of the game, and just concerned about if there's going to be any sort of good content coming to the game at all. It's just, no matter what you say to these big corporations, whether it's a development studio or whether it's like someone like Activision, they just don't want to listen to you. They don't know what's actually good for the community, and they just want to line their pockets. I mean, it's the same old story over and over again of a corporation wanting more money and not listening to their player base. But I mean, like, it's just, this has to stop, man. Like, there are very few companies out there that actually, like, have the player base in mind above anything else. And, you know, it's just, I don't think we're ever gonna see a change to this kind of stuff. I don't think Call of Duty's ever gonna be the same as it was a while ago, ever again. You know, it's just. And I don't have a script for this kind of thing. As I've always said, I never script my videos, but Like, it's just the disappointment's like really hitting me hard right now. Like, to think that this like any game in the future from this company is gonna get any better, you're so wrong. And honestly, I don't really see the point of playing these games anymore. Like, this is just a complete side note right now. I think, honestly, I'm probably gonna post less and less COD gameplay and more just like gameplay from actual good games nowadays, you know. But it's just Activision, especially this greedy, scummy company has never had the interest of its consumers in heart, just the money that they're given. And I know I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again. Oh, big corporation likes money. We get it, but like, what else is there to say? It seems like these rant videos are just talking about the same thing over and over again, because that's just what's happening. It's the same trashy talk over and over again, for the simple reason that we keep getting the minimal effort over and over again with these games. Man, like, these games hold a special place in my heart. Not the newer ones, I'll say that, but like, these newer games are nothing compared to the older classics. And yeah, it's just so sad to see where this series has gone. You know, down in the dumps. It's fallen from grace. And this brings me to like another point of conversation, and it has to do with the bundles. And genuinely, I think the bundles are a huge reason why the game's quality has tanked. And you may think that's kind of like just weird to like put just microtransactions as like a huge reason why the games are doing so bad, but genuinely I think that's a huge reason. Because think about it nowadays, with these games there is almost no form of like unlocking content, and the content that you can unlock is so like just mid compared to what they have in the shops. Like, they are pushing these stupid microtransactions so hard. Like, most of them, not most of them, but I'd say like a good portion of them are more expensive than like full price games. Like, you can buy like 3 of them and that would cost as much as the actual game itself, and that's just plain ridiculous. And it's just, I don't know how they're actually managing to do so many sales with this kind of model. Because if a bundle is that expensive, like, most of them are like $10, $20. A lot of them are. I don't know how somebody can just stare at the screen, look at how much minimal content you're getting in that bundle for for a copy of Minecraft right there, which you'll have infinitely more fun with, you know. And they'll just look at it, they'll see the value, and they'll say, "Oh no, this is a good thing to spend my money on." Like, I don't get how people can just spend their money like that, you know? Like, I know this video is kind of just all over the place right now, but that's how I feel right now, like, with this series. Like, all my emotions about this series are just all over the place. And I mean, I don't think that anything's gonna get any better anytime soon. And the thing is, at most, before, like, we ended up finding out months ago, like, before that, everybody thought this was going to be a 2-year game, because that's what it was panning out to be, and what it was going to look like. But we ended up finding out not too long ago, actually, it was a while ago at this point, it was like a few months ago, but yeah, we found out that this game's actually just going to be a normal Call of Duty schedule game. And Sledgehammer is going to come out with an abomination. I already know they're going to come out with a huge abomination. Because Vanguard, as bad as that game was, I don't think it was the absolute worst, because I think there are a few games, just to Nah, I think there's like one that's worse than it. But I didn't think it was an absolutely disgusting game. I thought it was just fine. But with this game, I can already tell it's going to be an abomination. Like, leaks have came out. Apparently it's going to be Modern Warfare 3. And I'm so scared. I'm not even gonna pay attention to it. Because with how stretched thin these developers are getting, like trying to release the game every year just to get a sales profit out for Activision, like, I don't have any hope that these games are gonna do well, especially Modern Warfare 3. After Sledgehammer's last game, I highly doubt that's gonna be a actual decent game. And the only hope that we have for the series is gonna be Treyarch's next game next year. And even then, I'm getting a little skeptical just because of the fact that they're gonna have to be helping out these other studios, and the Treyarch has already been helping out Infinity Turd a lot with ranked play and a few other changes, and that just takes away from their development resources that can be that they can be putting back into their new game. I'm really afraid for what's gonna happen. I'm putting all my hope into Treyarch right now, but I have very little hope. What little hope I have left is gonna go into that company, because I know at least they will do a lot of things right, hopefully. But even then, I don't know if that's gonna be enough. Like, I don't know. I'm all over the place with this video. I'm not making any sense, but like, I was hoping to structure this a little more fluently, but this became like a huge rant. Like, oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen for the future of this series. I mean, the game's probably still, like, the series in general is probably still gonna be it's thriving as much as ever, at least when Modern Warfare 2 first released, because they're doing huge numbers right now. But I can't say the same about their player base. The player base has tanked incredibly. Like, if you look on Steam charts, the game is just a shell of what it was when it first launched. It's only doing, I think it's only doing a few thousand players now, and it used to be getting like tens of thousands daily. But yeah, it's just this game fell off so hard. Man, I mean, I don't know how, like, a clone of Modern Warfare 2019 is still raking in the big cash, because like, here's the thing, here's the weird thing. While the player base is going down, the microtransactions are going up. And that's kind of a weird, like, correlation right there, don't you think? I'm not entirely sure how that correlates, but yeah, it's just, yeah, I got nothing to say, man. It's just, this series down in the dumps. The series is completely down in the dumps. I don't expect anything to come good from it anymore. And who knows, maybe Sledgehammer might prove us wrong, and they might actually deliver, like, the best COD we've had in the past, like, 6 years. But I'm not counting on it. Treyarch, I'm putting a little bit of hope into, and this is a message to them, if somehow they ended up finding one of my garbage videos just in the recommended by some chance. But Treyarch, you are our only hope. Your game will determine the future of this franchise. And please, all I ask is that you just make a good game, please, because I don't think I can keep playing these games anymore after all that's happened. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for now. I know this video is kind of just is, I don't even think it's really that entertaining. It's just me ranting for like a good 15 minutes, but yeah. But if you like my garbage content, then, you know, just, all I ask is that you just keep watching, and I appreciate that a lot. Appreciate you guys that are still sticking around and watching. And I know my channel's kind of fallen off just a little bit because I lost a few subscribers, but that was my fault. I didn't post, so of course naturally the numbers will drop off. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support, even despite, you know, my infrequent upload schedule. I'll try to get better in the next coming weeks because, you know, summer's starting up and I'll generally have more time to do stuff. But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. Infinity Turd sucks, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.